Good day, ladies and gents. I hope we are all good. I hope we had a good week. So I'm back again with another example on applications of what we learned on the Candlestick Trading Bible, together with a few other confluences. So I'm just going to look at what I was looking at when I was looking at Euro USD. So today it's Friday. This is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So you can see from where the week began, price started by pushing down, then they came back up to this level. In terms of a trend, I didn't really have a good trend direction, but I had points of interest where I was looking at to potentially take a trade from. So if you look to the left on this impulsive move here, I had this demand zone here, which I just drew into the future, and I was just waiting for price to tap into that area. So what happened is on Tuesday, price came close to that area, but I wasn't paying much attention here, so I did not catch this trade. So if you notice, price was also respecting where the support zone here. We came below and we came back above. So some might have taken a buy here, which was still perfect. So looking into today now, basically the week started at the top and we've been pushing down, right? So what I was anticipating is just a retracement into the weekly candle, back into the weekly candle. So what is the weekly candle looking like? Let's open the weekly. Okay, so if you notice our weekly was bearish, you can see it's black, right? I was also, this is the zone I was eyeing for price to at least get to. Maybe potentially get also into this area and this area here, which is where they already got to. But anyways, I didn't use these levels, so I'm just going to remove this one. So I was anticipating price. This was solid bearish at some point, so I was just anticipating a retracement back into that range. So what did I look at when I came to the smaller time frames? Let's drop down back to H1. So the first thing I noticed is price took out yesterday's lows, which is liquidity there. We had an RR candlestick pattern here, and we had this pin bar candle here. So if you follow some of the sessions, the videos are sent, you hear me put emphasis on nameable candles and looking at H1 for reversal candles, right? So soon as I saw this, I dropped down to M15 and I wanted to look for a pattern since now I had a possible buying bias. So M15, this is how my M15 was looking like. So the time I came to the charts, I think my price was somewhere here. So I was like, you know what? If this is going to be my impulsive move, then I need a retracement. So as long as I'm working with an impulsive move and a retracement, I need to make use of the Fibb. So I read my Fibb to this high, dragged it into the future, and I waited. Then also, if you notice, I had highlighted an order block because I was considering this a peak as well. As much as this is also a peak, you can see the order block is more or less on the same area. So I was using this one as my order block. So price came, broke it, an order block, and I wanted price to come back and retest. We also have an order block here. So I wanted a retest. And if you ran your Fibb, you notice that price came and tapped right into 0.618. Right. So soon as I saw that, I figured out that price is moving. Although I wanted a bit of a different candlestick here, but the trade eventually played out. You can see price actually retraced into the 61.8. The candlesticks we got are not the best candlesticks because I usually use H1 to get a better candlestick to use in this area. So I mainly look for either a doji, a pin bar of some sort, maybe a bullish engulfing or an inside bar. So in this particular example, I got this first rejection with a tap, and I got this. So as soon as I saw this being bullish, my entry wasn't really here. It was somewhere here. So I entered this trade. I put my stop loss outside the range. The first target was this high here. What was I using? Sorry, the first target was this high here. Let me just check what I was using for that high. Or I was using this level here because I figured there is some form of liquidity lying above this area. So this was my initial target. Then I also noticed that slightly above that, within the impulsive move we had yesterday, we also had uh, a fair value gap here, which was my next target. Then I had just dragged it out to here to 1.09 058 or 050 rather, because that was a complete 1 to 5 setup, but I was happy with closing out here. So price pushed aggressively from here to here. So soon as I saw them spiking this zone, that's where I collapsed the trade and called it a day. But this is another example of how you can apply the concepts we read on the Candlestick Trading Bible just to be able to get a good setup. So this also applies to the other book which we're going through, which is the BTMM versus ICT. I think I did only 2 videos on that. We only went halfway through the book. So to explain that based on BTMM concepts, let me just show you the setup. Again, on those concepts, based on what we read so far, we notice that the author say the best setup originates outside or originates around yesterday's low, which was here. And the best setups are supposed to be traded coming back into yesterday's low, coming back into that range. So what we noticed again is we had a nice W. This was the Asian session. So pre-London, that's when we had the impulsive move. Then the retracement happened after London session had opened. So London is the one which came with the retracement. And the author always mentions after you locate your peak, you need to put an order block. So from that particular example, peak, the order block would have been this candle here. So if you notice, price broke, retest to the order block, and actually pushed up. And I think that 1.09050 was actually just below the 800 moving average. This is based on BTMM concepts. It's one of the books which I'm going through, BTMM versus ICT. So if you're going through that, then you can use this particular concept in terms of getting a buy setup. We also had a few confirmations here, a nice divergence setup. We also had a nice baseline bounce on this low, and this was just a confirmation of this price pushing up. So no matter what strategy you use, just know that as long as you know how to apply it, then it will definitely work, and it will definitely help you to become profitable. So this is what I just wanted to explain. Application of the Candlestick Trading Bible concepts which we learned. Ran a Fibb. We realized that we had a trend from the low of the day. We ran a Fibb, got a nice entry, and the trade played out. So when I saw it, I think I also shared it with the guys. This is the time I shared it. Remember to always treat what you see. You can see this was the setup, the targets. That time I had not yet marked the fair value gap, which was here. Then from there, you can see the price then played out. This was the after, and this was the trade. Buy, stop loss outside the range. TP was initially on top there, but I collapsed the trade right at where you see the price at the moment. That's where the trade was collapsed. So I hope you guys are applying what we read. I hope everybody's being profitable. I hope everybody's putting in the practice. Apart from that, if you're still struggling, like I always say, always don't hesitate to highlight hit me in the comments, or if you're in the Telegram group, then I can always assist you in terms of helping to identify the best setups. So you can see the whole week I actually didn't have a trade on currencies. I only took just this trade today and it played out and we call it a day. So one trade a week, one setup a week, 2 trades a week. That's also cool, but it just depends with your trading style, like I always say. So I hope this session was helpful. Wishing you a very safe weekend and looking forward for the following week. Good trading.